What's up guys, and today I'm going to be showing you how to animate inside BlockBench and then transfer it to MCreator. So in my previous episode, previous video, I showed you how to install BlockBench and MCreator. If you have not already done that, then there's a link in the down in the description, and there's going to be a pop-up right about now that you can, when clicked, shows you the video and you can just watch it. So after you install BlockBench and MCreator and stuff like that, we can begin. Now open your BlockBench, go to File in the top corner and Plugins. Now I have already installed GeckoLib, but for you're going to have to install it if you haven't already done that. So go to Available and then search GeckoLib, or in or you can just search Gecko and it's going to show. So after it shows, press install, and after you go back to installed, to the tab installed, then it's going to be there. Now close the window, the plugins window. Now go to File, and now you can go to New and GeckoLib animated model. Now put a file name of the model. So the file name for this tutorial is it's going to be iron um iron knife. Sure. And mm, to be noted, when you're making other projects, be sure to make the model identifier, the model identifier with no capital letters, and with no spaces, because the model identifier is basically what Minecraft recognizes it. Iron, let's say sword, then the model from Minecraft vanilla and the model from your mod is going to collide and probably crash the game, or probably not work. So make a new model identifier and a new file name. Now you can select default UV mode to pre-face UV. That basically means on the blocks they're going to be separate textures instead of one texture being the whole block. Per face UV. It basically explains itself. Now press confirm, and now we can begin. Now if you want to animate, you're going to have to make groups, or in this case bones. Basically, uh, when you animate, you don't animate the blocks, but you animate the groups. So we're going to be making a iron sword, and I'm going to show later when we're animating the model. I'm going to be showing you why the groups really matter. So while you do this model, or you can just watch me do the model, and afterwards you can try doing your own model. So it's going to be a fast it's going to be a fast model. It's just going to be made. For right now, that's about it. And I can add a, yeah, sure, I can add something like this. Okay. By the way, if you want a smaller, instead of working with a cube, you can make it smaller or bigger with holding shift or control or shift to control together. So now after you have done the model, we can begin with the texture. Okay, now after we have done our model, it's now we're going on to textures. So click a create texture, and I'm going to name this texture. Normally you would name your um, texture the same way you named your model, the same name, and at the end just add texture. For example, mine is iron knife, so I'm going to do iron, sorry, iron, iron knife, lowercase texture, and that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. You can also pick the pixel density. That basically means how dense do you want the pixels to be. Like, let's say if it's 32, then it's going to be a higher quality. Basically, you can draw more. So don't want it to be like that realistic or something like that. I'm just going to use a 16 pixel density. Oh, we have run into a problem. Okay, if you run into that problem, just go to on the top corner. In the top corner, you can see you have your project here. Now double click on it and go to down below here, default UV mode. Now change this to preface UV. Confirm, and you see these dots and stuff like that, so we don't really want that. So delete the texture. As you can see, we have preface UV. Create new texture, and if we do something like this again, it should be, yeah, okay. Now we have made our texture. Now go to paint and paint it. So because my model is basic, I'm just going to paint it basic again. So I'm choosing the paint bucket, uh, fill mode, the element, the whole cube. So basically, do something like this. This is going to be a higher color. This is going to be um something like this. Sure. The tip is going to be um a little bit shinier. Well, it's a bit overkill, but yeah, I don't mind it. Okay, now when we're moving to display animate, you're probably not going to have display or animate because you have to set up your gecko lib. So go to file and on top, in the top corner you're going to see file, press on it, and below project there should be gecko lib model settings. Now this is where you basically tell what kind of gecko lib model you're making. Is it an entity, an armor, or a block slash item? We're making an item, so you pick block slash item and confirm. Now now it should show display and animate if you didn't have those. Now go to display, and this is where basically it displays in Minecraft. For example, when you load up load up the mod inside of Minecraft, it's going to look something like this in third person. So just change some things, make it bigger. Hold shift if you want to make the scale even on either side. So I want it a little bit bigger, something like that. Yeah, sure. Okay, and instead of doing the exact same thing, or maybe messing it up, being higher or lower, something like this, you can just go to the thing you made right and just copy it. And now, as you can see, you can just click paste and it's done. It's basically a mirror of the first thing you did. So, for example, first person, I kind of like the weapon to be a little bigger, something like this, and yeah, sure. Instead of doing that thing, the thing, instead of copying the thing you did, you can just click paste, and yeah, it does it for you, but in the mirrored version on the other side. So head, yeah, make it however you want it. Okay, I want it bit bigger. Okay, and the GUI is the most important thing because this is how your weapon is going to actually look. I I prefer going into HUD. That basically means your hotbar in Minecraft. So, if you haven't seen, on everything I went to, there's a other reference models. Basically, how your sword is held by other things. For example, zombies, first person, when you're charging a bow or charging a crossbow. But we just want it normal because our item is going to be a sword and not a bow or stuff like that. So yeah, just references. Now go to GUI and go to HUD, and now you can just experiment until you think you have it perfect. So wow, that looks wonderful. Now, nice. Okay, now after we have done our display, we can go to animate. So, before we start animating, you're going to have to make an animation, a blink animation. In this tutorial, I'm just going to be making a idle animation. An idle animation is basically an animation while you're holding it and not doing anything, basically. So click on add animation and rename this new to idle, IDDLE, and make it a looped. Now this basically means after it's done, it's going to just loop the animation. And this is where groups come in. So if I have created a cube but outside the group, for example like this, then let me rename. Oops. Okay. Let me just rename the group to uh knife, or wait, iron knife. Again, no capital letters or stuff like that, spaces. And yeah, this is our group, and this is a cube without any group, without a group. So, um, when we go to our animate, we can see that we can move our group side to side, left to right, stuff like that, rotate, upscale, descale, stuff like that. But the cube that doesn't have the group, you can't press it. You can see that I'm pressing the cube, but it doesn't do anything. We can't animate it. But if the cube is placed in another group, for example, we can have something like, and now we can actually move the block. So when you want to animate, you are going to have to animate with groups. And something interesting about this is you can have groups and groups and groups. Like for example, our knife, we can have let's say this and sorry this and this have its own group. Now it's a group in a group. This basically means we can basically move the whole thing like everything is normal, but we can also make we can also change this. For example, let's say we want this to rotate. Rotate. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Hmm. It doesn't really matter. That's more on entities and stuff like that. But for our tutorial, we're basically it basically did. No. What? Oh yeah. Okay. That's it. Okay, now we can move it together, but we can also just move it around separately. And that's the benefit of groups, which is very interesting, and I really like that. Okay, now, uh, okay, now after we have created our animation, the animation dot your model dot idle. Now we can begin with animating. So when we're animating the item, we want it to start somewhere. So um, you see this arrow. This is basically the time. Like for example, if we do something like this and then select it, and let's say we wanted to move something like this, and then go here, and then just back again. And this is how it looks. So this is basically the timer of things. We can just delete these. And okay. Now we can begin with animating. I want to say something, and that's basically how your item is going to be positioned. So this is very important. When we look at our display, let's go to first person. This is how our sword is going to be held. And this is where our animation actually starts. For example, if we want our animation to go something like this, up and down, then uh, then we're going to do in the animation, we're going to animate it something like this. If we wanted to swing something like this and just swing it, then the animation is going to start from here, and then we can just swing it like this, basically. It's not that difficult. It's just difficult at the start if you don't know how to do it. But yeah, that's basically it. Now for our animation. So if we wanted just to if we want our model to go up and down, we're going to have to select it, move our timer a bit to a quarter of a second, and basically just move it one one block up, let's say, and then we can go one block down, right? Oh, I went actually two blocks down. Okay, I think that seems good enough. Hi, it's me from the future. Currently, I'm editing this video, but I just very badly explained how it's positioned. So basically, if we have an item here, like your model is in the center, then that's where your animation begins. Towards the north, if you face the camera towards the north, then that's where your player animation begins. So let's say if we go to first person, this is how the item is held, then this is how it looks in the animation. So basically, if you have made your model, let's say here, then you would obviously need to fix it in here. But when we go to animate, you're actually going to start from here, animating. Let's say you're holding it, you're going to go up and down, or let's say you swing it, you go this way, and that's how you actually hold it. So wherever you make your model, be sure to make the animation there, making the model in the center, because that's very it's much better, and yeah, it's much easier. So fix it in first person, obviously. Let me just boom. Okay, and this is where my animation starts. I'm going to be looking towards north, and then starting the animation. And yeah, I just want to make a short video on explaining that. So yeah, back to the video. Enough. Okay, and yeah, that's basically it. So this is how our animation is going to look like. Let's say we want it to be rotated, something like this, and we want it to switch something like this, or yeah, and then just go back to its original spot. I can just copy this, the position, and then just paste it. And now it looks something like this. When we're in game and holding it, it's going to look something like this. It's not the best, but it's a tutorial. So now pause it, and it's time to save everything so far. Now we have to save our texture. We go to you can see that I've already experimented and stuff like that. So yeah, for this I'm just going to make a folder and call it knives tutorial, something like that. Okay, knives. So I can save the texture in here. Now we go to file on in the top corner, file, and now we go export. And you can see these export GL, TF, model, object, model, stuff like that. But that doesn't interest us, or we can't do anything with them at the moment. So we go to export gecolib model. Now we're exporting the model. So go to the folder or wherever you want to put it, save it, and now save the display. So keep in mind the display is your model, okay, dot item dot JSON, and your model. Oh, sorry, did I mix the two things up? So this is display, okay, dot item, and this is your model. So yeah, save it, and now we go to the Animate tab and save it here. Instead of saving it, if you have multiple animations, then instead of saving them one by one, that's not going to work. You have to save them all. So after, let's say you have like two animations, instead of saving them one by one, that doesn't actually work, because when you save them together, you can import them together in MCreator. But I don't think you can export um like multiple animations. So yeah, so keep in mind that. So click here, save, go to wherever you are saving the models, animations, stuff like that, and press save. Now we're basically done with the model and itself. Now we open MCreator. So, as we did with BlockBench and installing Gekolib, the plugin in the BlockBench, we're going to have to be installing it in MCreator. So, down in the description, I'm going to have a link for the plugin. Thank you for Nerdy Puzzles for making this a plugin. Nerdy's Gekolib plugin. When you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see attachments. Now, this is where there's a problem. If you don't have the right version, the plugin is not going to work. For example, my version for right now is 2023.1, and as you can see, I can download it. But yeah, if you don't have the latest version of MCreator, then you can't use this plugin, or it just won't work. So click on MCreator 23, the version, the right version for your MCreator, and after you download it, go to MCreator, open MCreator, and go to Preferences, Manage Plugins, go to Load Plugins, and then go to the plugin you saved, to Gekolib plugin you saved. Press on it and open. And now just press save and reopen MCreator. Reopening MCreator basically restarts MCreator. So yeah, after you have done that, press new workspace. Name your display name, your mod basically. I'm going to be naming it knife. Mm, Knives, and choosing the version of MCreator for Minecraft. Okay, create workspace. Uh, it's going to it's just going to open their website. You can just close that, and yeah. So I'm just going to skip this part of the workspace starting up, and I'll see you there when I get there. Okay, so my workspace is done. Now, before we get started, go to workspace in the top corner, file, MCreator file, workspace, hover over workspace and go to workspace settings. Now go to external APIs and select Gekolib and save changes. It's going to ask you to refactor workspace, but don't worry, it's not going to mess anything up. If you already have any models, any other models, or any other stuff, it's not going to mess up things. So after that's done, it's pretty quick. Go to resources, and at the last one of like screenshots, and at the last one it's going to say GeckoLib. Go to GeckoLib and now import import GeckoLib model. So go to your folder or where you saved the files from your model, and just start opening them. It's going to ask you first of all the model and now the animation. That's why I said you can't do them separately. You have to do them in one file folder, folder. So select the animations, and that's about it for the model. Now you're going to have to import the GeckoLib display settings. So press on that, and as you can remember, we had it had your model dot item. This is your display settings. So select that, open, and now if you just press on resources again, they're right here. Okay. Now go to model elements, press the big plus and go to animated item, and I'm going to name this uh, iron knife crate, and item texture. This is important. Import texture and iron knife texture PNG. Select that, import textures from the imported textures, and select that as well. Now the item model, select the item model to use support GeckoLib. Now this is where you select your model, and this is where you select your display settings, and this is where you actually put your idle animation name. You can either, if you have any questions or don't technically know some stuff, if you don't know anything, you can just press on the question mark and it's going to tell you some stuff. So for this, you can either just type in animation dot your model dot idle, or you can just type in idle. For my for this tutorial, I'm just going to go to BlockBench and just open the animation and just copy this. So control copy, and just paste it over here. And if everything goes right, there should be a check mark. Now, perspectives to play animation in. You can either just press. You can either have all perspectives, first person, or the third and second person. So this is basically what kind of perspective you wanted to you want your idle animation to start. So if you're on your person, if you're on third person, then the animation won't start. I want it for first person, and here you can enable arms. That basically means you can animate arms as well, but in this tutorial I'm not doing that. So yeah, after you have done that, everything is just basic basic MCreator stuff. Stack size, it's a weapon, so it's 1. Destroy speed, yeah, enchantability, whatever. Damage is going to be 5. Again, if you don't know anything, you can just press the question mark, and yeah. Durability, I'm going to make it to 303. Yeah, sure. And press enter on that because sometimes it glitches out, but yeah. And you can just select some other stuff. Is it immune to fire and stuff like that? Be sure to make this an item animation none. Food properties, advanced properties. Yeah, you can just mess with them if you want to, and just save modelement after you're done. And now, after MCreator is done loading, I'm going to start Minecraft and create a new world, and I'll see you then. Okay, so we have loaded in Minecraft. It's a bit laggy. Let me just turn down the settings. Um, and that's about it. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's see, 88, 150 FPS. Okay, that's a bit better. Now, if we go to the search items and type iron, and there it is, iron knife. As you can see, it works, but it doesn't play in any other person, third person, second person. But when we hold it, you can see it moves. So yeah, that's about it. It's a short video. I mean, it's not short at all. But yeah, and that's it. You can see that if you search on, yeah, as I said, it's not perfect, but hey, it is animated. And if we go to second person or third person, it doesn't do the animation. But when we go to first person, it does. So thank you guys for watching. It's been an adventure for me, and probably it was for you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.